up, family?
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, y'all. Nosy neighbors. Mind your business. It's none of your business what we're doing over here. We're vloggers.
Right.
It's Saturday, guys. We're out running errands. We actually just got back home from the grocery store. And so we're about to unload Omar's trunky trunk and get these groceries in the house.
Right.
Hey.
What we making? Some
No.
Oh, wait, don't tell. Sorry.
Don't tell them what we making.
Try to give y'all a little...
Listen, they gotta keep watching. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're in the kitchen now, and here's the lineup. You have some pancakes, maple syrup, little cinnamon, pumpkin puree, eggs. What else we got, though?
We got some almond milk.
Little milk.
This is the ultra pasteurized, so if you want to know what kind it is.
Just in
Land
case you
O'Lakes
wanted to
butter.
know. Land O'Lakes.
And how they say it in ATL? One bowl.
You're so corny. All right, so what did you say you wanted me to make you earlier?
Pumpkin spice French toast. But guess what we make?
What are we making?
Pumpkin spice pancakes.
How did you know?
You know, what do they call it? Educated guess.
An educated guess. Okay, well, you did a great job. Okay, do you want scrambled eggs?
Yes, with cheese.
American or cheddar?
Cheddar.
Sausage?
Yes.
A link or a patty?
I guess I gotta get a patty.
I was about to say, you better say patty because that's all I have. All right, y'all, let's get into this late brunch. Oh, might I add, I'm also really glad that it's September. Like, I was having a very difficult time letting go of summertime, but like also, I'm ready to really get into these pumpkin spices. Right. Underlying pumpkin notes and everything that we do.
And candles and...
Are you gonna take me apple picking?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if they got apple picking though.
They have to have apple picking.
Pumpkin patches?
All of that. All of it.
Well, yeah, we're going apple picking.
Yay. Okay, y'all, I had to pause real quick just because, oh my gosh, the pancakes turned out really, really good. Like, I haven't actually put them on a griddle just yet, but I just tasted the batter and oh my goodness, it's so good. Like, I've never made this particular recipe before. Also, I'm kind of like freestyling it, honestly, truthfully. So all I did, as you could see, was I already like had pancake mix. So I took a shortcut, essentially. I used that. I added a little bit of sugar to it. And just some cinnamon, like a whole lot of cinnamon, just so I have like heavy underlying cinnamon spice tones for the pancakes. And then to another bowl, I had the melted butter, the puree, the pumpkin puree, and then just milk, and I whisked that all together. I think technically speaking in baker's world, you're supposed to add your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients, but as you saw in the video, like I did it wrong, so don't get me. But yeah. It turned out really good. I just tasted it and I'm so happy. So I can't wait to actually taste what the final product is going to be like, and Omar will be the judge. So I'll let him pop up here to let y'all know if it's good or not. So we'll see. All right, let's get to these eggs. So proud parent alert. So as you guys may remember, not too long ago, we started planting seeds of our own inside like our little homemade germination trays. And we were telling you guys that we were going to start growing our own produce. And so the produce that we chose, considering this time of the season, was lettuce and kale. And so now we want to show you guys an update. Yes. It's only been how long?
I feel like it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, it's been about 2 to 3 weeks. And so in just that short amount of time, like we've experienced so much growth.
Yeah, and we chose lettuce and kale because of the season. You know, it's September now, so lettuce and kale seem to be the ones that would be the most hardy in the weather. So this is what we got.
Yes. Look, y'all, this is our lettuce. It grew up so nice. Wow. And this is the only one that didn't do a whole lot, but it's okay. I'm just glad that we got lettuce growing out of all 4 of the trays. Like, that's so cool. All right, and this is the kale, y'all. Check our kale out. As you guys may remember, this is the dinosaur kale that we chose to grow, and it did its thing. Wow. I'm so impressed. I'm so happy. Okay. All right, so we pour half the bag of the soil in, and we kind of just used our hands to just get rid of all the clumps. Hey, Omar.
Yeah.
What parable does this remind you of in the Bible?
Parable of the seed and the sower.
Did you know that because I said that we should talk about it, or did you just know that in general?
I mean, it's not really that many parables about seed and sowers and stuff.
You're right. I'm about to read the parable of the seed and the sower to y'all. It's found in both Luke and
Matthew. It might be in Mark too, but I know definitely Luke and Matthew.
Okay, yeah. So, all right. Pause for just a moment. Do like freeze. Okay, so I'm gonna read a text, y'all, and this is coming from the Tony Evans Study Bible, which is the Christian Standard Bible version, and it reads, "As a large crowd was gathering and people were coming to Jesus from every town, he said in a parable, a sower went out to sow his seed. As he sowed, some seed fell along the path. It was trampled on, and the birds of the sky devoured it. Other seed fell on the rock. When it grew up, it withered away since it lacked moisture. Other seed fell among thorns. The thorns grew up with it and choked it. Still other seed fell on good ground. When it grew up, it produced fruit 100 times what was sown." As he said this, he called out, "Let anyone who has ears to hear listen." Yeah, so that was such a good passage. All right, but hold on. Before we talk about it, like, we're really trying to figure out if we should add more soil to our raised garden bed or not, because technically we have to, like, at least, like, dig like little holes so that we can plant our transplants in, and then also give them enough depth so that the roots can actually go down and yeah, really get our plants established and growing all nice and stuff. So yeah, so what do you think? Plant that soil?
I think we can add a little bit more.
A little bit more soil. All right, well, since I have the camera on, what do you feel about the parable, like that passage that I just read? Do you have any thoughts? Yeah, do you have any thoughts on it? Like your initial thoughts?
I think a lot of times we automatically put ourselves as the good soil. Like, we receive the word with gladness, and we internalize it properly, and we use it practically in our lives and things like that. But I think oftentimes, I wouldn't even say oftentimes, but I think there is a process into which we eventually reach good soil, and we're eventually receptive to the word of God, and we're eventually receptive fully to what the scriptures say. So I think that some points we are the soil that ends up on the road. At some point we're the ones that end the soil, the seed that ends up on the road. Sometimes we're the seed that ends up on rocky soil. Sometimes we're the seed that ends up on thorny soil. And so I think that instead of looking at it as their complete destinations, I feel like they should be looked at as stages to where we've been up. Because I think at some point in my life, the seed was sown on me, but I was rocky, or I was thorny, or I was a road. But I would say, I think now I'm in good soil. I receive the word of God, and I use it practically in all the things. So that's just kind of my thoughts.
So you identify, we know. So you identify with the good soil right now in the season that you're currently in?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do y'all feel like y'all fall? Like, leave it in the comment section. Where do you feel like you fall? You think that we should add more soil, like beyond what we have right now? You just measured it again with your fingers. Like, how far do you feel like the depth is? Like, at least like, what, 5 inches? Okay. So, what's the next step?
We're going to put them in the soil now.
Whenever you're planting your transplants into the soil, you want to make sure there's enough space in between each of the plants so that they're not competing for nutrients and for soil. And so before we actually even start planting them, we're actually going to just like put our hand into the soil just so that we have like little markers. And then we will carefully probably cut the plastic off of the transplant so that we preserve the roots. Technically speaking, y'all, we are literally taking these plants straight from our house into the outdoor climate. And I guess like researchers say you're supposed to harden the plants to prepare them for this sort of climate change.
Because like you kind of transition them to outdoor because now they've become, they're kind of spoiled right now.
Yeah, they are very spoiled because they're used to like climate controlled conditions. They get watered once a week. They have grow light and natural sunlight. Like it's just way too controlled much of an environment. And so what hardening is basically like you taking them out and putting them outside for a few hours a day and then bringing them back inside and eventually increasing how much time you allow them to stay outside before you finally actually make the change and plant them outdoors. So we skipped that spot. Hopefully this does not mean that we've ruined this entire process and this journey. Either way, I've had fun doing it, and I think that we're going to see some harvest.
Right.
I think.
Sorry, I'm over here killing mosquitoes.
Want me to go grab the off? Get off my man. All right, y'all. So carefully using scissors, we cut all of our transplants out of the germination trays. So as you see here, we also dug some holes, so we know exactly the spacing between each of our little transplant babies. And we have our kale over here, and we have our lettuce over there. So yes, looking good, y'all.
So now we're gonna put them in the holes and pat them down and water them, and then we'll see what happens.
Yay!
But yeah, so since we were talking about the parable of the sower, how did you feel about that as well? What was your thoughts on the parable of the sower?
When I was reading it, I felt like the first one where the seed landed kind of like on, what was it, a footpath?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that's more so of like whenever somebody receives the word, but they're kind of like not really trying to hear it. Like their heart is hardened toward it. So it's really, really easy for the devil to come and steal that seed because they're not really interested in knowing really what that word is about. Like they're not actually processing it and thinking of ways to apply it. It's kind of just like maybe they just show up for church, mm-hmm. but they're not actually interested in, mm-hmm. actually carrying out that life. What's the second one? The rock.
The rock, yeah, rocky soil.
I feel like the rock is kind of like just like superficial faith.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think in the text it said like the seed was able to actually get settled into that particular type of soil, but I mean the roots weren't deep at all because I mean like it's literally colliding with the rock.
Right.
And so I feel like that's like superficial faith, or maybe even faith that's like very like emotionally driven. So like the people that go to church, and no shade to anybody honestly, but like the people who go to church and they're like, oh man, like I was crying during the sermon, like, oh that was it, like
mm-hmm.
always crying, always altar call, like that, yeah. Like not really feeling it, but like feeling it.
Yeah,
it's not really settling in, but it's kind of like their emotions are driving it.
Yeah,
an mm-hmm. emotional experience. For the thorns,
mm-hmm.
I kind of equated that to like you receiving the word, wanting to process and apply it to your life, but then also like having all these things that are competing with the roots. So right. Whether that be like distractions.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I feel like the first two I can't relate to, but I feel like sometimes I bounce between like thorny soil and good soil.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm on fire, I'm receiving the word, I'm applying it, I'm seeing the fruits, that come with actually applying and staying focused. And other times I feel like I really let distractions kind of steal seeds and steal mm-hmm. revelation that God has given me. So mm-hmm. that's kind of how I symbolize the thorny soil.
Yeah.
And of course, good soil, you explained that very, very well. Like mm-hmm. good soil is what Omar said he is currently living in right now. So take notes from your boy.
I think,
so yeah.
What I was going to say, if we continue on, because I think we stopped at the 14. And I love how Jesus actually explains the parable as well. And says, now the parable is this: the seed is the word of God. The ones along the path are those who have heard. Then the devil comes and takes away the word from their hearts so that they may not believe and be saved. Mm-hmm. And the ones on the rock are those who, when they hear the word, receive it with joy. But these have no root. They believe for a while, and in time of testing fall away. And as for what fell among the thorns, they are those who hear, but as they go on their way, they are choked by the cares and riches and pleasures of life, and their fruit does not mature. As for that in the good soil, they are those who, hearing the word, hold it fast in an honest and good heart and bear fruit with patience. So, yeah, and like she said and like what I said, I feel like there are a lot of us who end up in both of those or all of those spaces of soil at some point in our lives.
Sure.
But yeah, I think once you hit the good soil and you're internalizing the word and applying it, and like I said, with a good heart and with joy and things like that, you're in that sweet spot. So yeah.
Yes. All right, very good.
Speaking of sweet spot, we need to get some ice cream.
Boy, we need to get this sweet kale into this soil.
Oh yeah. All
right, let's do it. Okay, y'all, and another be quiet. Who let the dogs out? All right, y'all, and another quick pro tip. Yeah, so because we knew that we were going to be making this move and kind of disturbing the soil and the plants, we didn't water this week. Like, it's literally been like 6 or 7 days since the last time we watered, because obviously we didn't want the soil to be all mushy when we tried to move it. Like, we wanted it to kind of solidify. Even so, as we're trying to place the plants inside of this new soil, it is very difficult to kind of hold the form of the soil together. Does that make sense? Okay, last but not least, y'all, it's time to water our vegetation. All right, so y'all, look, we have all the plants in there. This is the kale right here. It looks so good. And the lettuce, man, it was a struggle, but we got it in there. Also, y'all, if y'all don't know about the Farmer's Almanac, make sure whenever you're deciding to plant, especially whenever you're planting a little bit late in the season like us, that you look into that resource so that you know when the first frost will be, so that you don't waste your time doing stuff like this. If you don't have enough time in between when you're planting your vegetation and when the first frost will hit, then you're wasting your time. Make sure you're timing these things and you're planning ahead. All right, Omar, are you ready for the water? All right, this is spring water, y'all. We don't just water our plants with anything. Okay, no, you're good. We only give our babies the best of the best. I forgot to take y'all with us when we went to go get some food, y'all. Hey-oh. But we got Bumper the Burger. It's our first time eating here, so I got a regular Bumper burger. Omar got a double with everything on it. What did I call it?
Well, yours is a bumper. Mine is a bumper, 2 bumper.
Oh, okay. I got a bumper. He got a bumper 2 bumper, which means it's a double. And I like how they stamped the top of the burger. I mean, I think I like it. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I mean, cool. It's their signature thing. I like that. All right, we got regular fries. Ooh, this is giving Five Guys fries. You know how like they be putting them in a brown bag and you can see the oil through it? They kind of smell like it too. Actually, they smell like cookout fries, no lie. Let me see if it tastes like it. Definitely not giving cookout, but it's good. I'm trying to get you taking a bite. All right, y'all. Hey y'all, good morning. So we are leaving church now, and we got a new baby in the back.
You see it?
Shout out to really nice people at church who want to help me and build up our plant family. Very nice. But yeah, I just want to pop up here real quick because yesterday after I finished making the pancakes, I definitely said that I was going to get Omar up here just so that he could give y'all like an actual authentic review on how he liked the pancakes. So I ain't want y'all to think I was a liar, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I remembered just now as we were driving home that, you know, he was supposed to get up here and give feedback. I'm like, yo, let me let my mans do that.
The pancakes are amazing.
Were they good for real?
They really were. So if y'all want to figure out what that recipe is and all the things.
If you want the recipe, you already know what to do.
Oh, okay.
Beg for it in the comments.
Exactly. And maybe we'll drop it down there. But no, they're really good though.
They were good.
Very good.
All right, very good, yes. Okay. Right, y'all, so because we were recording yesterday in the evening time, it was kind of hard to get really good light during that clip, but I did want y'all to see what our plants look like during the daytime with this good old beautiful natural lighting. So here we are. They've almost survived an entire 24 hours of being outside, and they are doing great. It hasn't been really sunny today. It's actually been very cloudy, well, partly cloudy, and it's rained a little bit, but the plants are doing very well. All right, guys, so this wraps up our vlog. Thanks so much for hanging with us. Bye.